occasion. those buttons right there.
Yeah.
Oh. As the last folks get their plates, we're going to start the program. So if the music can stop, please. And if the area where the food is, if you guys can get your plates a little quieter and make your ways to your seat. As soon as you get your food, we're going to get started. So the first thing that we're going to have is a special presentation by the Hemet Harmonizers. So if you would put your hands together for the Hemet Harmonizers. That will be immediately followed by presentation of colors and the Pledge of Allegiance by one of our student mentees. Thank you.
Detail. Oh. Left. Haste. Present. Arc.
Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Check. Check. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave truth to the night that our flag was still there. Or say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you.
Next, we'll have the invocation by Senator Mike Morrell. You can take your seats.
Well, good evening. How are you? Great to be here, or I should say it's great to be out of Sacramento and in a room full of people that are normal. So thank you. What a wonderful event this is. It brings community together, doesn't it? I think it helps strengthen the city of Hemet, so thank you. Well, I'm going to share a verse, and we'll pray in that theme. And it says, unless the Lord buildeth the house, those who labor do so in vain. So shall we pray with that? Father, we pray for not just Hemet, but our county of Riverside, our state of California, and the United States of America, the greatest country on the face of the earth. But God, we are living in challenging times, economically, politically, as well as morally. We ask, God, that we would turn our eyes and fix them back upon you, the author of life, the one who gave us this country, Father God, and prospered us. And so we ask for your help once again, and we call upon your name, and we ask you to help be the builder of our homes as well as our cities, our marriages. We ask that you protect everyone in this city, our health, our prosperity, our well-being. And we ask that you would grace our city council and our mayor and our city employees with wisdom to serve your people well, Father God. And may we never fear man that casts a snare, but may we only fear you, Father God, because Proverbs starts out that the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. So we ask that for all of us here, God. We ask that Hemet plays a part of saving our state, and again for wisdom for our city council folks, and then for our educational systems and our people who are young kids that roam these streets. Would you please place a hedge of protection around them? And then at a time when our law enforcement is being assaulted, Father God, we just rebuke that and say that we value our peace officers, as you state in Romans 13, that they're actually ministers of God, to punish those people who do wrong and to praise those people who do right. So we ask for a special blessing for our men and women in blue, and we commit all these things in this beautiful evening to you in your Son's name. Amen.
I'll let the fire chief walk by real quick. Good evening. My name is Eddie Poos, and I serve as your police chief and interim city manager. It wasn't by choice, by the way. It was a vacation I took with no connectivity with my beautiful wife. As soon as I got back, I got this notice that I was being the acting city manager. But truly, with the support of the city council, it's been challenging, but it's been really a great opportunity. So we're moving forward with that. I want to thank each of you for coming tonight and for continuing to support the efforts of building Hemet into a thriving community. Tonight's event will highlight both small and large victories. These victories we've entered this past year, and I hope you enjoy it. As we continue the program, please join us in recognizing the leaders of our valley, the leaders that led the charge in moving us forward. So please take a look at the screens. Hemet, it's my privilege to introduce to you Mayor Malcolm Lilienthal, your council member for District 3. Malcolm has been on the city council since 2020 and has been an example of servant leadership during his tenure as mayor. He's married to his bride, Heidi, for 3 years, and they have 4 children. Malcolm holds a master's degree in psychology and has a therapist in private practice for 5 years. Anyone who knows him knows he's passionate about philosophy and neuropsychology. We're always bound to learn something new about the human brain when speaking to Malcolm. Malcolm's passion for therapy and his motivation for becoming a council member comes from both witnessing and practicing in the transformation and restoration of broken circumstances. Malcolm approaches his role on the city council like he approaches therapy, determining the issue first and formulating a treatment plan through established goals. Among the goals he has for Hemet are restoration through unity, working together, and building a sense of community. It has been such an honor to witness the passion with which Mayor Malcolm Lilienthal serves the community. The presentation our team has put together tonight will demonstrate how active he is in creating these opportunities for our community to enjoy times together and participating himself in these events. Without further ado, please, let's welcome Mayor Malcolm Lilienthal.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you all for joining me tonight. Councilmember Krupa said to me one time, she said, Hemet, well, I'm about to mess this up. Because it was a quote, right? So I'm trying to remember what she said, but she said something like, it's harder to restore, no, okay, I got it now. It's easier to restore or create a new painting. God, it's easier to create a new painting than it is to restore a masterpiece. That's it. And when I think of the city of Hemet, I think of the city of Hemet like a masterpiece because, you know, people come up to me and say things about Marietta and Temecula, and I'm always wondering why they are talking about us like that in a negative view. And so I see us like this masterpiece that needs to be restored. And so that was one of the reasons why I got on council. But before I start, I like to acknowledge my wife, Heidi. Can you please stand? I love you sincerely, and I'm grateful for your partnership and everything that you do for our family. You don't know this, but you've played a vital role in keeping me from becoming jaded, and I truly appreciate your love and support. Whether you like me or not, I'd like to acknowledge my mother. Mom, can you please stand? God, every time, man. Okay. She's the reason. She's the reason I'm here, whether you like me or not. She's the reason I have these morals and values that make me who I am today. Please give it up for my mom, Daryl Lilienthal. Frank, can you please stand up? I hope you all get out of tonight that I have a heart for Hemet. Frank was there when my two brothers passed away. He was the third rider with them. So they weren't here to see me win and get on city council. They passed away October 11th. And I wanted to celebrate with them my accomplishments. And just like I've held them down, they've also held me down as well. And so, Frank, I thank you for being with them that night. And this, for you being here, represents them being here too. Thank you. Before I get into my speech, please turn your attention to the screens for a message from our operational managers.
My name's HP P. Kang. I'm the Community Development Director for City of Hemet.
My name is Noah Rao, the Public Works Director, City Engineer.
Hello, I'm Hemet Police Chief and Interim City Manager Eddie Poost.
My name is Kathy Kane, Senior Librarian in charge here at the Hemet Public Library.
My name is Scott Underwood. I'm the IT Operations and Network Systems Supervisor for the City of Hemet.
Eddie Sell, Fire Chief and Agency Director for the Hemet Fire and Life Safety Agency.
I'm John Paul Meyer, the City Clerk.
Hello, my name is Norma Rangel, Human Resources Manager for the City of Hemet.
Community Development has accomplished multiple things this year, including over 5,000 single-family residential developments, as well as over 5 million square foot of industrial development that we're working on, and multiple revamp and remodel of commercial developments, as well as new commercial developments coming into the City of Hemet.
The Water Division accomplished some critical infrastructure projects this year, including the rehabilitation of Production Well 2A and Production Well 12, extending their life 5 to 6 years. They completed the recoating of Tank Number 2, extending its life another 20 years. The Engineering Division completed the design and full reconstruction of over 2 miles of city roadway and the maintenance of crack fill and slurry seal on over 7.5 miles of roadway.
A great accomplishment is we expanded our flock system, which is our automatic license plate reader system. We were the first city in the county to implement the flock system, which solves crimes and helps reduce resources when investigating crimes. The important part is this past year we've collaborated with our county partners as well as our neighboring city to expand that. We share our resources. So we're able to solve crimes throughout the county, throughout the city, which benefits law enforcement as a whole.
Most important is our activities and events that are going on here at the library. We began at Christmas time with the Christmas parade. We then went to our summer reading program where we had over 500 kids sign up. We began doing our story times in person, and we do story times every Wednesday at 2 o'clock. There's fun times there, stories, scavenger hunts, lots of activities happening.
We've replaced the city's firewalls. The community benefits from the firewalls by allowing the city to have reliable services. Without those firewalls, those services could be impacted.
So we actually have a brand new fire engine at Station 1 on Juanita here in downtown Hemet. That was a tremendous accomplishment to be able to order that. We had an aging fleet, so being able to replace, the fire engine was a big deal for the community. And we were also able to order 2 more fire engines that are going to be coming in about a year.
The City Clerk's office has scanned and indexed thousands of documents, primarily the resolutions and ordinances. What we went ahead and did was got 5 years of resolutions and ordinances that are available now to the public.
So this year we implemented what we call NeoGov Onboard, which is an onboarding process where our applicants apply through governmentjobs.com. Once they are ready to go through the hiring process, they complete all their onboarding paperwork online, and we in HR get notifications as to when the documents are completed and what's still pending.
Victory in the Valley.
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 Victory
in the Valley.
Now, if you indulge me for a moment, I'd want you to visualize it. Just everyone close your eyes for a second and visualize a toddler, okay? And that toddler is gallivanting through the house. Could be Donovan, my son. But no thought or care about, what they're going to run into or break, and honestly, no regard for the world or society outside of what is directly in front of them. Now, for us to stand up straight with our shoulders back and to accept the terrible responsibility of life with eyes wide open, as adults, we have the wherewithal to understand the world and society ourselves. We ultimately decide to transform the abstract nature of potential into reality, the chaos into habitable order. In reality, this means we adopt the burden of self-conscious vulnerability and walk away from the paradise of childhood where we fail to fully grasp our mortality and our finitude. As adults, We must willingly make the sacrifices necessary to generate a productive and meaningful reality. Simply put, this means acting to please God in the ancient language. This is what I was striving to do when I decided to run for city council. The honor I feel on serving on the Hemet City Council is captured by the experience I had watching a group of men who I barely knew and who barely knew each other that I recently went on a hunting trip in South Dakota. I soon discovered my severe allergy to grass and other seeds that rose up in the fields as we trudged through and came on to rely and relish the teamwork demonstrated among these men who all had a common goal. Like my fellow council mates, we really stepped up this year when it came to working together this past year. That's why I call this Victory in the Valley. As a result, our community has an actual chance of moving forward. Why? Because random wandering cannot move you forward. It only disappoints and frustrates you. Through our work on council this year, we've embraced the unknown and have literally chartered into unknown territory. But we've done it together. If you will, please turn your attention to the nearest monitor and let's hear about some accomplishments we've made in the quality of life and partnership and collaboration.
To the families and young adults who call Hemet home, to those who travel to and through Hemet for work, to those who have chosen Hemet as the home of their business, and all of the wonderful groups who have partnered with us, thank you sincerely, and welcome to the 2022 State of the City. I'm your Hemet Police Chief and Interim City Manager, Eddie Poost. As you know, change and difficulty are an unavoidable part of life and growth, but the way our community has rallied itself to earn the several victories we've earned this year should be celebrated. So here we are. Let's recognize the growth we have experienced, the victories we have won, and this amazing community that continues to grow and evolve. Welcome again to the State of the City, and enjoy.
Hey Hemet, I'm Carly Meyer, Mayor Pro Tem and Council Member representing District 1. We are glad to join you for the 2022 State of the City featuring my colleague Mayor Malcolm Lilienthal. Tonight, each of your council members will highlight accomplishments we've made in achieving the goals set in our strategic plan. As many of you know, the Council adopted a strategic plan in June 2021, outlining the following 5 objectives: community engagement, partnership and collaboration, organizational effectiveness, quality of life, and economic opportunity. So what is quality of life? Your roads, safety, sidewalks, the beauty and aesthetic of the community itself? If you guessed any of those, you're right. The quality of life goal embodies the comfort of living here. That includes how safe I feel when my husband and I walk down Florida Avenue every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening. Since October 2021, here are some of the strides we've made to improve the quality of life. Liberty Men's Restoration Center and Victory Outreach have provided 6-day-a-week cleanup services, supplementing the Public Works Streets crew. CityNet was allocated $1.2 million for street outreach and housing the unhoused. The city has hosted 5 cleanups in partnership with CR&R and has removed over 188 tons of trash through the city streets. We've allocated $40,000 to conduct citywide board-ups to reduce blight and adopted a comprehensive neighborhood enhancement plan to give our code enforcement officers a full arsenal of tools to enforce the city's municipal code. We created a plan to develop our future public works professionals through a maintenance aide position that would graduate to a higher position. We hosted 2 DUI enforcement and 3 distracted driving enforcement events in partnership with Marietta Police Department, Menifee PD, and several other local agencies. We added a full-time traffic bureau officer. We've launched a fire prevention program and 2 new fire prevention officers who are now carrying out fire safety inspections that haven't been done in years. That sums up quality of life. So I will pass it over to my friend Linda to discuss partnership and collaboration.
Good evening, Hemet. My name is Linda Krupa, Council Member for District 5, and I am here at My City Youth Center. Anyone who knows me knows that I am fiercely in love with this community, and I firmly believe in the partners and stakeholders who have joined us in growing our city. That is what the partnership and collaboration goal is all about. Through our roles on the City Council and through staff, we actively pursue relationships that make opportunities available and more abundant for our community. This includes partnerships with the county, the State Library Board, nationwide organizations like the Salvation Army, and local groups like My City Youth Center. Through this, we have been able to accomplish the following just this year. The Adopt a Street program was launched, and 6 streets have been adopted. The Hemet Rotary Club took over the Tinsel Triathlon and will donate all the proceeds back to our community. The Police Explorers program has grown to 14 participants, and the Fire Explorers program now has 17 participants. $1.9 million of federal funds has been allocated to build a skate park. $15,000 has been donated to the Fire Explorer program, with turnouts and boots from the Kevin Waycheck Explorers for Life Association. Our CERT program was relaunched, and we have a number of new volunteers. A robust intern program was launched in the city to develop pathways to local government careers, and 2 youth academies have been hosted with school resource officers. Our Christmas parade expanded into an evening program, garnering thousands of participants and invaluable relationships with our local churches and organizations. The Veterans Day program at Gibble Park this year celebrated a car show, and we watched an outdoor movie at Mary Henley Park this summer, and we'll watch another one later this month. The city donated an old fire engine to provide Hemet students the opportunity to work with real equipment as they learn and pursue fire careers. We also partnered with the school district to make our military banner program completely free for our residents, and to hold the amazing Fall Festival and Trunk or Treat event last month. Interfaith Council Cleanup Day was so successful, with 325 volunteers, 20 different locations, and over 8 tons of trash in one day removed from the streets. One of the most poignant points for our partnerships and collaboration is the way our community came together during the Fairview fire. The school district provided Talk with High School as an evacuation center. Raising Cane's provided food. Students and businesses rallied around the impacted families. Before I pass this over to Councilmember Males, please, let's hold a moment of silence for the 2 lives that were lost in the Fairview fire. Thank you.
Hey, Owen. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Owen. He is going to recite a poem for you.
Through thick fog, the crackling of light, the boy and his dog sit in fright. The boy holds his rod, no fish will bite. The dangers of the world are coming. The boy steers on, they focus forward. Storm like black swan, they travel onward. Row through dawn, they see the orchard. The boy and his dog travel humming. The boy and his dog, 2 new world. Hard to see in fog, the boat is swirled. But they go. Odysseus waits, adventure uncurled. The boat rocking, but they keep drumming. And suddenly, they have made it. Storm ceases. Beautiful winds blow through their faces. The sun shining as the boy and his dog gazes. The smell of fresh morning strumming. And then, the boy caught his first fish.
guys don't remember we're supposed to go. Can we give it up for Owen again? His poem captures the intentionality required to become, or at least to arrive to a certain destination. Success, including victory in the valley, is not a predetermined destination that you just arrive at. It's an object of habit. In neuroscience, scientists talk about us as deterministic creatures. We're deterministic, like causal, like an alarm clock. You know, like something like you just simply wind the thing up and it just ticks away. But we're not really like that. We're really creatures of habit. So here's an example. If I make a fist like this and I move it like this, it's considered a ballistic movement. And I have to plan that movement from here to here because I can't get a neural message fast enough from my hand to my brain back to stop it. So it's predetermined. And I can do this thing because it's habit. Many of the things built in our lives are deterministic. Why? Because many of the things we do are habits. Our lives are predetermined on habit. And it's like we have council meetings twice a month. The garbage is picked up, once a week. And then we have events like this once a year. But what about our conscious decision making? When you're doing something that you haven't done before, the conscious you experiences a world that isn't determined yet, and I would say it's actually a world dealing with the world of possibility. Does this make sense? The world of potential. As a world we believe in so much that you say to someone, you're not living up to your potential. How many of you have said to yourself or a loved one that you're not living up to your potential? When there is potential that we're not using, it's something that you're looking for something to exploit, right? And so we experience a degree of guilt when we're not exploiting that possibility. And so maybe it's enough to wake us up, but it's not enough to crush us. And so it's not like we say to people around us, it's okay, you're not living up to your potential. Like, it doesn't matter. No one says that, right? So we contend with ourselves in deciding what to do with each day we are given. So can you do 3 or 4 things that will change the world around you? Can you become a change agent by simply engaging the potential you have within yourself? Yes? The answer is yes. If you're not catching on tonight, I am prophesying over the city of Hemet, okay? And tonight, I'd like you to join me in recognizing a few groups whose conscious decision to explore the world of possibility has changed thousands of lives. First, I'd like to recognize Birth Choice. Since opening in 1990, Janet Chun and her team have given out close to 2 million items to support mothers and their families. And over the last 30 years, the team has had 30,000 appointments, which include pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, material assistance. There's Earn While You Learn classes, and fatherhood and mentoring appointments. So at this time, can I have Jeanette and Liana join me up on stage? We decided to recognize you today because you personify victory in the valley. Your decision to confront the impossibility for so many was courageous, and we are a better community for it. Thank you for what you do in our valley. I asked the office of Senator Rosalia Ochoa Bogue, as well as Jeff Hewitt, and Raul Ruiz's office to join me up on stage as I present these to Birth Choice. So they, Okay. So Raul Ruiz's office has 2 for both of them. And then we have recognition from Senator Ochoa's office, as well as Jeff Hewitt.
Should we step off so we can get pictures?
Yeah. Is somebody going to get a picture? You know how this goes.
This way? Yes. Go ahead and step off left. Look like a police line. I know. You do.
Jeff says we look like a police lineup. Say a few words about your organization.
First off, I just want to thank you all for coming and Mayor Lilienthal for recognizing what we do for the community. We have a couple of volunteers here because I wanted them to come because they're the soul of our organization, as we are the heart. We want to serve the community the best way we know how, and that is helping the women who are in crisis pregnancies or unplanned pregnancies. We give free pregnancy tests, free ultrasounds. We educate them on all their options. They choose which option that fits them the best with an education on all the options. Then, if they choose to parent, we give them free clothes, free diapers, free wipes. Once a month, they come in up till the child's 2 years old. We love on them. We build relationship. But I do want to say that I just started here 8 months ago as the center director in Hemet. And when they asked me to be the center director in Hemet, I knew about Hemet, but I'd never really been in Hemet. But I can tell you that you guys have stolen my heart. From the city council, Mayor Lilienthal, the representatives in San Jacinto City Council, to the Chamber of Commerce, you have done nothing but lift us up, love us, support us. And the Hemet, it's not the infrastructure, it's the people in this town that makes Hemet so wonderful. And you truly have stolen my heart. And I want to be here for all of you. So if you don't know who we are, please stop by. We'll give you a tour so that you can understand who we are. We want to be a handout as much as we ask for you guys to donate and help us. But thank you so much for this privilege.
Thank you so much. You know, we're really delighted to be in this community, and we just took over this center about 7 years ago, and I just can't even tell you the warm reception and welcome that Hemet has always been. And we're delighted to be a part of a community revitalization. We've always felt on our hearts and our prayer that we were going to have a lot of revival in this area, and so we're really excited to be a part of it. So anything that we can do to come alongside you guys, or you guys want to come alongside with us, please come and partner with us. We can't do this without doing it together. So thank you.
Thank you, Jeanette and Liana. Next, I'd like to honor Memorial Funeral Services. Try to say that 5 times. It's a new business here in Hemet with Ed Bush and his team. They spent a lot of time researching before planning in Hemet. And he says, all roads led to Hemet. While, you know, mortuary services aren't the happiest thing to think about.
You haven't been to my place.
It's an inevitable process we all encounter at some point, which I'm going to reiterate later on. Memorial Funeral Services has entered Hemet as a resource to help families both prepare and respond to the passing of their loved ones. On one note, Ed's team promises no more GoFundMe and car washes when families unexpectedly lose a loved one. and they provide funeral services at absolutely no cost to families who have lost their children. And they do the same for first responders. I would say, Ed, can you join me up on stage? But you're already here. So I'm so grateful for your path that led you to Hemet, and thank you for taking this leap of faith and servicing the community and Valley as a whole. So we're going to go down here. This is pretty.
All roads really did lead to Hemet. We looked a long time to find a place that we wanted to land, and I'll tell you, we came here because of you. The people that are in this community, the demographics of this community, the people we get to serve means everything to us, and we put our heart and soul into everything we do. I could tell you story after story. I've been in this business a very long time, 25 years of ministry prior to that, so I have a heart for service, and service is what we're all about. It's not about the money. And probably the number one reason that I opened my business was because there's a move in the valley, not just this one, but the whole Southwest Riverside Valley. There's a move in the valley to raise the prices for funerals, and I want to stop it. There's no reason for anyone in this community to do a GoFundMe. There's no reason for anyone to put a note on Facebook, hey, Mama died, can you help us? There's no reason for that. And so we want to help those families. I'm delivering a urn to a mother tomorrow morning. She lost her baby last Friday morning, 15 weeks gestation. And she's coming to my office, and I'll meet with her and her husband and her father, and I'll hand her the urn. And there's no cost because she's already struggled enough. So that's who we are. We want to take care of your families. We want to take care of your folks. We love this community. The longer I'm here, the more I want to be here. Thank you very much. To the chamber, thank you.
Christy Barrett, how do you do this? My mouth is so dry. So many victories. You guys can see. So many victories, so little time. But venture with me into the world of possibility for a moment. What impossibility can we manifest by confronting potential? Not just the city council or city staff, but each of us. Look, we'd have flourishing stores and restaurants, beautiful clean streets, thriving schools, bustling neighborhoods. None of these are impossible, but it will take all of us. Let's turn our attention to the screens to hear the rest of City Council.
Any community, Hemet is no different with a variety of homegrown businesses here in Hemet. We focus on being very supportive to our existing businesses and becoming a destination for new businesses. Some of the openings we celebrated this year are Dunkin' Donut, Raising Cane, Cynthia's Sweet Treat, newly improved PetSmart and Marshall's, Hibachi Empire, Whip Lash Studio, Tiara Pizza, Creative Touch Event Venue, Jackson Salon Suites, and Favored by God Home Care. Our team has also set the stage for new industries to choose Hemet as their home by embracing new technologies and changing our codes to welcome them. Some other accomplishments we've made include Monday through Friday services at City Hall, launched in September, over $26 million worth of grants given to conduct city business, $210,000 of grants given to local businesses, track it improvements to track projects online and make permitting and planning fully virtual. launch of a virtual concierge service so visitors to City Hall can join a line and wait anywhere they want until it's their turn. We've issued over 300 ministerial permits, including home occupation permits, permanent sign permits, sidewalk vendor permits, home food operator permits, and certificates of occupancies for commercial establishments. Over 3,000 plan reviews and over 1,000 building plan checks.
Councilman, thank you so much what you do for the citizens of Hemet.
Well, thank you, Darrell. I appreciate that. Let's get this over to Council Member Russ Brown to talk about organizational effectiveness.
In 2015, Hemet was placed on the California State Auditor's high-risk list due to a number of issues related to organizational effectiveness. Consequently, this became one of our strategic plan goals so that we could directly respond and address those issues identified by the auditors. As a result of our efforts, the state auditor has now removed Hemet from the high-risk list, and here are some of the things that we did to achieve this. Starting in January of 2022, we conducted a user fee study and updated our fees accordingly to put them on par with other jurisdictions. We digitized all council resolutions and ordinances and made them accessible through our website to allow residents easy access. We sought out competitive banking solutions for the city and made our selection to achieve optimum effectiveness and cost savings. We created maintenance schedules for citywide improvements, including tree trimming, street maintenance, storm drains, and parks in all of our public works master plan. We developed a fire prevention plan and a team of fire prevention officers who have begun inspections that haven't been done in years. We contracted with a professional finance investment firm to help us manage the city's investments and adopted a new investment policy in December of 2021. We also launched a number of employee appreciation events designed to boost morale, and I think that that's really paid off. A happy workforce is a productive workforce. Most recently, we made significant revisions to our budget document, making it more user-friendly and easily accessible online to the public. These transparency enhancements earned us our second consecutive Distinguished Budget Award. Also, we were trendsetters with the establishment of flock license plate reader cameras throughout the city to assist our police officers' ability to identify, locate, and apprehend serious criminal offenders. Other jurisdictions have followed our lead, and these cameras are now prevalent throughout most of Riverside County. We conducted a citywide customer service training for all of our employees and have initiated changes to the phone system to make sure someone always answers the phone Monday through Friday. Our police department continued providing a Citizen Academy class and also included a session on how to operate the police radar. People were having a lot of fun with that. Police personnel conducted active shooter training to ensure that we're always prepared for any eventuality. We recently broke ground on Hemet's very first fire training facility, where our firefighters can be trained on the ground right here in town. These are just some of the highlights of the many things that we have been busy accomplishing to enhance our organizational effectiveness. Hey, Malcolm, tell us a little bit about what's going on with our community engagement.
Thanks, Russ. I'm Malcolm Lilienthal, and I'm the mayor of Hemet. I also represent District 3. This goal is about being proud of our community as well as building a sense of community. This year we've made significant strides in community engagement, and I want to share with you a few highlights. We began to regularly visit community groups at their request. We've been somewhere new almost every month this year. The locations include Panorama Village, Sierra Dawn Estates, the Lakes at Hemet West, Victory Outreach, Seven Hills, and the Sage Society of Hemet. I also have been to community members' homes to give updates about the victories in our lovely city. There were hundreds of people who came out to National Night Out, a free community event with our police and fire departments. There were hundreds also that came for our Public Safety Expo, where we had public safety demonstrations, including police canines and other interactive fun. Our emergency service coordinator also revived the community emergency response team this year and began to visit and train community groups. We have also published a monthly newsletter since last year, community meetings with staff and council members, hearing from businesses and public invested individuals to hear their stories and work on resolutions. One of my favorite things we've started is Coffee and Pizza with a Cop, and we will continue to host these quarterly. There have been over 30,000 visits, over 1,500 new borrowers, and over 2 million database searches. We had our first movie night at Mary Henley Park, in which families came out to watch the movie Encanto. Always remember that we don't talk about Bruno. Please be sure to grab a flyer for our December movie in the park. Just last month, we hosted the annual Fire Open House, and that's always a fun event to attend. To get into some numbers, our reach has increased by 1,100 people in the last year, and we've hosted over 20 community events and grew the Fire Explorers program from 6 participants to 17. These victories, of course, are impossible without the partnership and investment of the members of this community. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your continued patience, belief, and support in us. Where's Erica at? You ready, Erica? We don't talk about Bruno, no. I want you guys to know that our highlights tonight we're sharing with you are they're just literally highlights, right? Like when you go on Facebook, there's just highlights of people's lives. So make sure you're not comparing yourselves to who's someone else, but who you were yesterday. Our teams have accomplished so many things this last year that it's impossible to cover in just a couple of hours. So let's focus again on potential. Whether you believe in the Bible or not, I want to share a theory with you. In the Bible, there's this idea in Genesis that at the beginning of time, there was nothing except potential. The thing that stands between the nothingness of each day is us. If we refuse to submit to the habit of conformance and staying at home, we literally step into the role of creator. As creators, we tap into the logos from Genesis, a sort of truthful courage, communicative ability. This means that our courage and our words mean something. And when we're confronted with potential, what do? Well, we use truth and courage. And we use it to transform potential into being similar to the theory of the Bible's deity. In Genesis, after God created something, he said something repeatedly each day after doing this. And it was good. And it's repeated, so I think it's kind of important. When we confront potential with truth and courage, what we produce is good. That can be useful in application, right? If you want to produce what's good, confront the potential with truth and courage, and what you produce is good. So I present to you a fundamental ethical axiom sort of predicated on faith. It's not easy to be courageous. It's not easy to tell the truth. But the theory is if you manage both of those in the face of potential, then what you produce is good. Our good includes lots of new development, growing literacy programs, and volunteering opportunities, new sidewalks and roads, water well rehabs, and our new Bureau of Life Safety. But what does that mean to you? In the present, of course, it's better quality of life, a better community, and if you take a step back and put this within the framework of this theory, you could see the garnered potential. Transformation emanates from the courage to step out and speak out and bringing that back to the community. That's the story of humanity. It's the oldest story we have, and it's correct. It's at the basis of our culture. It is believed in Genesis 1:26 that man and women were created in the image of God. If God confronts potential with truth and courage, and makes good out of the potential, that seems to indicate that we have the same faculty. Of course, on a smaller scale, because we're not omniscient, but we're not nothing either. California Family Life Center is a perfect example of this. This is why we chose them as another highlight tonight. This team has been a staple in our community for 40 years now, and their work fits right into our formula. Chaos or potential, courage, communication, and then action. CFLC provides group homes, job training, and education opportunities for fostering and adoptions. This includes youth mentorship and mental health and so much more. Mary Jo, would you join me? I understand that I'm talking a lot about an abstract concept, but you all at CFLC demonstrate the power of moving in faith despite what the current situation looks like. I thank you for all that you do. Just like with the other dignitaries, can we go down there? About to rehearse all y'all names.
Why, thank you. So I'm going to quote a great philosopher, too. His name is Winnie the Pooh. And he says that sometimes it's the smallest things that take the most room in our hearts. And I thank the city for acknowledging CFLC during these 40 years of a journey that we've had of keeping children safe. I can't think of a job I love more than walking into our building and knowing that we're providing the safety, comfort, and healing for vulnerable children. And it's just amazing to have the support of a city council, a city community, the way that we have been embraced. Many of you I've known for many, many years. And I'm going to be like Malcolm, Mayor Malcolm here, and I'm going to probably start crying. That you guys have been amazing in our work. We could not do it without you, as well as Riverside County, with all the support that they have given us. So thank you, and I'm going to let Pam, my foster family director, say a couple of words.
This is going to be very brief. I just want to thank you guys very much for doing all that you do. And I see we have a lot of representatives from the police department, and as a representative from CFLC and our group homes, we thank you guys very much for always answering our calls, coming out all hours of the night to help us when we do have difficult situations going on. And everybody else in this room, as community partners, we thank you, and we look forward to working with you for another 40 years. Thank you.
The final recognition is for My City Youth, an organization that we all know and love. Dan and Becky moved to Hemet in 1980, and much like this theory on potential, they saw a need and chose courage and action. After several years working internationally, Dan and Becky formed My City Youth to provide a free and safe place for people to go to and have fun, receive tutoring, and just to be safe. Since then, they have evolved and grown significantly and have been an example of creating something from nothingness of potential. Would My City Youth team join me up on here? This is D Money.
I'm the team today.
Thank you for all you do. And more formally, this is from Jeff Supervisor Hewitt's office, Senator Rosalio Ochoa Bogue's office, and Raul Ruiz's office.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody tonight. I come with greetings from the happiest place in Hemet. That's the youth center. It is definitely the happiest place that I've found. No offense. But we work with children and up to age 18, and we have all kinds of stuff going on there. It's a lot of fun, and it's just I'll tell you my favorite thing. It's about 2:30. They start rolling in there, okay, and they're playing all the games we have, and they're in the rec room there. And that noise that comes out of there, my office is right next door to. I could just about set my clock by it. And they're just having a blast playing these games. They're not fighting, they're playing games. So it's been really great. So we also, I just want to thank you for recognizing the children here. You know, I see all the candidates, and I realize that the biggest thing that is everybody's mind is homelessness. But the best way to end homelessness is work with our kids and work with them now. So that's where we're at. That's my life goal. So we're spending our time with these kids, and we're educating them. We have guitar lessons, we have art lessons, we have Legos engineering, we have everything going on there. And it's great. It's a great opportunity for these kids, and we don't charge them anything. And so we're looking forward to this next upcoming generation to not be up here worrying about homeless people, but worrying about their children. So, thank you. I forgot one thing. Every Tuesday, we have a free coffee and donuts at the center, rain or shine. So, come on, all join us. It's free.
Dan, your choice to be courageous and create something from nothing has created the village that our community's children are raised in. Thank you for the work that you do in our community. I present you this theory on potential because the future of Hemet exists in this gray space. And so our conscious is completely tied to the state of being that we have yet to understand. Even still, it's up to us to manifest. And that's quite the trick we've been able to manage. So what do? Well, we type our letters, we make our phrases, we construct our sentences, and we build our paragraphs, and we put our chapters together, and we make our books, and we communicate to people, and straighten out the culture, and constrain the malevolence, and the ignorance that besets each of us, and we push nature back into the unknown and confront potential that is there in the limitable quantities and make the world a better place than it could be otherwise. To move it away from hell, to which, and certainly to the degree that we can manage that, and that's a good enough goal, because life is tough. You need something to get out of bed and fight for. And that's something, right, to fight for. Let's say against hell and for heaven. That's something to fight for. And God only knows what we could manage in the next 20 years or 100 years if we continue growing our capacity in choosing to fight. So if you think about it, we're running at about 40%. What would happen if we ran at 90 or 95%? Ed, everyone dies, right? So you might as well commit yourself. And you might as well commit yourself to the highest possible good that you could attain, because why not? It will imbue your life with meaning. And I know it's hard, but all of the meaning is in the responsibility. That'll make your life better. It'll make your family's life better. And it should make our culture better, and maybe even the world better. And that'll justify your damn experience at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're wondering, what the hell are you doing here? And that's a good thing, because there's gonna be days when you're aching and you're tired and you're sore, and there are people in your family that are sick, and you're cynical and bitter, and you need a reason to get up, and you think, well, a little more heaven and a little less hell. Maybe I can pull that off for today and tomorrow and the next week. And this is worth struggling for. If we as a community make the conscious decision of extorting the potential, becoming creators in the unknown, and really reject the old excuses, imagine what we could be. We'd be a collective Rotary, a collective team that can't be beat. Let's look at the potential of this community and literally materialize the victory here in our valley. Mr. Owen, can you please join me on stage once more? This young man has some really good poems.
Rise, for tomorrow is a new dawn. Rise, for we will fly as the swan. The storm came and earth shook. Sickness spread and sadness echoed. But don't despair and take a look, for we found yellow brick road. The human race, with joy so profound, we looked to the stars and found happiness, that shining hope, positivity across us, so big a scope. And so never let down until we gain grand crown, for we will rise high. Let's all look up to the sky. Rise until we reach space. Rise, for we are the human race.
Ladies and gentlemen, Owen is a junior at West Valley High School, where my brothers happen to go to. He's already become an incredible leader among his peers, and he's a talented writer, and we choose to feature his poems tonight. I want to acknowledge him as the city's poet laureate. Okay, take two. I want to recognize him as our city's poet laureate. Our official poet, for him to share his art with us, our community, and I want Owen to know that we really appreciate you. We also, we're gonna give you a scholarship. So, in honor of your appointment of the City of Hemet's first annual Poet Laureate, we present this to you. We are really grateful for all of your accomplishments, and we're proud of you. I want you, if you could, to please close us out with Rise Again.
Rise, for tomorrow is a new dawn. Rise, for we will fly as the swan. The storm came and earth shook, sickness spread and sadness echoed, but don't despair and take a look, for we found yellow brick road. The human race, with joy so profound, we looked to the stars and found happiness, that shining hope, positivity across us, so big a scope, and so never let down until we gain grand crown, for we will rise high. Let's all look up to the sky. Rise until we reach space. Rise, for we are the human race.
Thank you all for coming tonight. That concludes our program. Please feel free to grab some more food, and we also have desserts on your way out. Thank you.